My name's Phil Szomszor, and I'm here today with Anthony Leung, who is the co-founder and owner of Mean Right Hook. I got that right. I had to look up your company name, Ant, actually, because I just know you by your name. So, but anyway, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm just off the bat. I'm actually just a sole founder of Mean Right Hook. I would love to be a co-founder, but this is me, doing. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, doing very well. Things are looking good. We are feeling momentum this year. Let's go. That's why we're talking, because I feel good.
Let's go right in then, and perhaps you could just start by telling us a little bit about your business, how you came up with the idea, what it is you do, and then we'll get into some questions.
Yeah, my business, right now I'm helping founders who are looking to get traction with their startups through creating videos, right? So either getting breakthrough to to investors or to your customers. I'm helping you make videos that are founder led, that gets to them, right? And that's authentic. It all started actually as a dream to be a writer, if you believe it or not. That's why my company's named Mean Right Hook. Play on the word right and my love for combat sports at the time.
Okay.
But the dream was to be a copywriter, sit in a corner, and just never talk to a human being ever again. Just briefs would magically fall on my lap, and I would just make a living doing that. It all really all started from my time in social media, right? So I actually started in the charity sector, copywriting digital stuff. I was Bernardo's first digital fundraiser, and then got to Save the Children. Then fell in love with social media there. And then took those skills off to places like Rackspace, Pret a Manger, Just Eat. And I just felt the connection that you can have with an audience through telling short stories in social media, and I loved it. And then when I decided to do my own thing, I was like, cool. I just want to write forever. I want to write blogs. I want to write emails. I want to write social media stuff, but I just love creating, and just wanted to really tap into that part of myself when I did my own business. But pandemic happened, and then cost of living happened, and then AI happened. So all those factors, yay AI! But all those things factored into me pivoting, right? I still wanted to create, but when you looked at, a lot of my clients were food and drink industry with my, my contacts there. They were facing a tough time with, cost of living, and their budget scaled back. Fine. I can, write, let's say, like Facebook ads or whatever it was back then. Just do, performance marketing, copywriting. That gets taken away by AI. Maybe rightfully so, because between us kids, I hated writing like 1,000 variations of the same thing. But, but I had to sit there and go, well, where's the value in storytelling anymore? If AI is, making written content so cheap, if you will, and cheap, I mean, in a way that's not only cost, but also the value we get from reading it. If anything we read online can be done with a click of a button with a prompt, then where's the value in that? And what I come down to is two things. One is that it's, when we're creating businesses, startups, it's relationships that matter more than anything else. And in order to get relationships, you got to get trust, right? The way to get trust is two ways. One is to actually show up, shake the hands of the people, meet them, et cetera, et cetera. The other is to create content that people can trust, that it's not coming from a prompt. It's actually lived experience. And in order to do that, you need to be able to be yourself in front of a camera to deliver that yourself. Every time you pick up your phone, you either fire up TikTok or Instagram or LinkedIn. It's an opportunity for you to do this and talk to your audience, and show up and be yourself to do that. And that's really incredibly powerful. That ladders up with the trust that you build as you create relationships in person, and that can also be a surprising way to kind of cut through to the people that you want to connect with, whether it's investors or customers. But both of those audience are looking for the same thing, which is a real human being behind the camera. And if we can deliver that, I think that's the key.
Okay, that's a great intro and setup for what we're going to talk about, which is not surprisingly going to be about how to get the most out of the video format. So let's just start with it's going to be a double barrel question, I'm afraid, which is around the business case for video. So why should founders, apart from what you're saying about connection, but why should founders really invest the time in it? What kind of return are they going to get from it? And the second part of the question is, why aren't they already doing it? Because I can tell you, I actually have quite a lot of difficulty persuading people to use video on LinkedIn for a variety of reasons that we can talk about. But what's your take on that? So, why do it, and what's holding people back?
Yeah, first is why do it? It's the same reason that that made me kind of realize and pivot into what I'm doing now. You look at the evolution of communications. If we're doing this podcast right now and it didn't have a video element, it would feel a bit weird. If you had a call with a client and it wasn't video, it would be like, what are you hiding? It's now an expectation to have that kind of video element in our communications. And so that's the first thing, is that communications evolved into something like this, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the second thing is that, with the evolution, you then have to think about how we communicate, right? So when Alexander Graham Bell first created the telephone, he had to think of how to pick up the phone and say hello. What did he say? I can't remember what the phrase was. He said something funny, but it wasn't like hello, like what we say now. We had to kind of work our way into figuring out how to communicate on the phone, right? It's the same with video content. It's like, well, now we're talking now, how do we communicate this well every time we show up on camera? And when we're able to do that, we're able then to, have the opportunity to connect with our audience in a different way, in a way where we're not pushing ourselves. They're there to consume, and we're there to kind of deliver something that if they want to consume. That's a very different mindset than there's that guy talking again. Oh, he's talking at me. It's more like, oh, this person's interesting. I want to listen to what they have to say. And the reception of your message, when you get it right, is so powerful, right? Mm-hmm. I got a client who I was in the midst of looking to fundraise, and there was a lot of it's hard to get in front of your investors. And after we did that video, not only did she get her investment, the investors actually asked for video to be part of their website. They're known in their circles as just the LinkedIn video person. After one video, they go around in live events, and they're known because of that video, and that opens so many more doors, because you're able to tell your intent of your startup. And as a founder, your intentions, why you're creating this thing. And when they connect with it, people are drawn to you. And I think that is incredibly powerful. I think that is why people need to think about video, not just founders, but any business leaders, anyone who wants to make get some traction into what you're trying to do in your career or in your business. I think that's incredibly important to think about.
And what's the other? So what's the thing that's dragging them back? Because it's a compelling case, but it sounds like, well, how you characterize it, that founder might not have used video if it wasn't for your help. And there are thousands and thousands of founders and business owners and startups and small micro businesses like ours that aren't using video. So why not? Why not do it? What are some of the pushbacks that you hear?
I think the first thing is confidence, right? I think that as founders, we love and we believe in what we're building. And if we ever put out anything out there that doesn't match that level of passion or energy, we look at it and go, I don't know about that, right? It just doesn't feel right. It feels wrong. I'm sure a lot of us who's listening to this podcast or watching this right now, we would absolutely crush it if we were told to go pitch in front of a live audience right now. And that would give us, a confidence, and we'll feel amazing about that. But video is a completely different beast. And I think a lot of us kind of misjudge that. We underestimate that. And so when we kind of deliver, we try to deliver in front of video, in front of a camera. There's no live feedback. There's no there's no energy that comes back to you and for you to figure out if you're doing right or wrong. You're just talking into like dead air, it feels like. And what happens is that we look back at that video and go, "Ooh, why do I look like that? Why do I sound like that? That's not me. That's not who my startup is. That feels weird. I don't like that." And every time we do that, we kind of just knock back confidence, because it's like, I can do it on stage, I could do it in a room, but I can't do it here. That's weird. I don't like it. And then on top of that, that's just making it. But posting is another level of confidence, because now you're putting it into somewhere that feels permanent. And there's a different level of fear that comes with that. There's a lot of senior leaders that talk to, the initial fear is like, well, what if somebody I went to school with sees this? What if they judge me? Right? I'm like, how? When was this? When did we go to school with them? But we're so afraid of being judged. We're so afraid of there's all these insecurities that come out with that, because it feels more permanent. And I think we double that insecurity when we post it and it bombs, right? And you've got two people, one of them is like your mom, that likes this post, and you're like, but it's so good. We're here, but why is this piece of content here? And that knocks down our confidence. And so that confidence really drags us back, right? The second thing I think after confidence, and I think it's related to each other, is the noise that we get on our social content already, right? Our feeds are just flooded with content now, and there's a lot of them that kind of look and sound very similar. Like there's a lot of hustle bros that are out there on LinkedIn. And then we look at that content and we go, oh, like, is this what we have to be to succeed? Is this how we have to sound like? And it doesn't feel like me. It doesn't sound like me, but I guess I should try it because I want my startup to succeed. And it feels kind of gross because we're trying to pretend to be somebody else. And we're trying to pretend to deliver our value, what's inside our internal, what drives us, in a way that's not us at all. And it feels fake. And of course your video is going to bomb because it's not you. It's not how you feel. It's not why you started your business or your startup. And it feels gross. And again, that just goes back to the confidence again. Either I don't want to add to the noise, I don't want to add to this kind of noise, or I don't want to be like this person in order to succeed. We just stop ourselves from showing up. And I find it funny because we don't have the same kind of fears when it comes to going on stage or being in a boardroom or speaking in front of people. But it happens on video. And those are the things that I try to alleviate when I work with my clients. It's like added pressure that I give ourselves to kind of be a perfect version of ourselves, or a perfect version of video before you send it. But there's so much pressure that we put on ourselves when we try to do that ourselves, and that stops us from doing it. So that's my job, is to take that pressure off of you.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I was sort of smiling a bit through some of the things you were saying, because I think I see that even just with a post, like a text-based post with a picture. And we get a lot of pushback actually for doing picture-led content on LinkedIn, which actually still does perform really well. And you can often persuade somebody to do a selfie in a group setting. So, okay, if you don't want to hold a phone up in front of your face, then maybe take a picture with your team. That stuff always performs better. I think we're hardwired to, when we're thumb scrolling, to stop when we see somebody we recognize, and that happens with video too. But obviously, I mean, your videos aren't just for LinkedIn. Obviously, you talked about investor videos and videos that go in direct to people, and they could be used for sales and other things as well. So, but perhaps you could just tell us a little bit about your process and how you overcome some of these obstacles. How do you go about making these videos Is there something in the approach, the scripting, the preparation, who you select? Just talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I guess the process I do with creating videos is different than most, I guess, video creators. Because I don't think video first. I'm a writer first and foremost. Damn it. Okay. And I think that any piece of content, whether it's music or it's video or it's a book, it always starts with good writing. It always starts with good intent. And I think that is underrated, and I think it's undervalued. And so the first thing I do with my clients is the story, because the story is in our heads, like as founders, we're living, we're living the process of creating this business and this startup. But in order to land it in a minute and a half, that takes a bit of thinking to do, right? I think the first layer of pressure that we give ourselves is when we get in front of a camera is like, did I say everything I need to say, or did I say the right things? And in order for us to get that pressure off of us, we need to be able to see a script that goes, or a map, really, to be able to go, I'm going to start from A and we're going to end up in B, and everything in between is got to get everything perfect. And so that's what that getting that story right does, right? And so the first thing I ask is if my client has a video of them already, have a pitch that they've done, a video of that pitch. If they do, great, because they've already put some of the work in to create a story. That video could be 10, 20 minutes long. It's fine, right? But my job is to take that video and find and distill that into a minute and a half. If you don't have a video and you haven't pitched in front of a live audience before, or you want to start from scratch, we can do that too. We go on a call. It takes about an hour, and I drag the good bits of your story out from you. And the good bits isn't just like, hey, this is some really cool tech, or hey, this is this is my founder story. It's the whys. The whys are the most important. Why did you start this business? Why did you decide to do solution? Why did you make certain decisions? Those are the things that actually make not just your startup, but your story so much more relatable. And investors and customers and clients and whoever's watching, they're just people, and people connect with people. And if they can find your story relatable, they're going to be so much more open to listening to anything else you have to say. And that relatability is so important in the first 3 seconds, first 5 seconds of your video, in order to earn the view for the rest of your story. So that's what we start with is the story. And then I create a script that's at most a minute and a half long, depending on your story, however long it takes, we do, but I wouldn't go over a minute and a half. And when I write the script, it's different as well. I'm not going to give you paragraphs. I'm giving you short lines. Every line I write is we think about where it breaks and where the editing can take over.
Okay.
So what happens is that you don't have to remember the whole thing when we're shooting, right? When we're shooting, I literally feed you the lines. I tell you the lines. You already know it's going to land because you've already read it. We've signed off on it. If it doesn't sound like you, cool, that's fine. Either at the writing stage, you go, hey, can we change it to sound like this? Cool. That's you. It needs to sound like you.
They don't have to get it right in one cut. They don't have to go.
You don't have to get it right in one cut.
How am I going to? They just need to know where it's going and segments of it. You can break it up.
Segments, exactly. Yeah. Hey, say this line right now. Hey, my name is Phil, and this is my thing. Right, and then you go, hey, my name is Phil. This is my thing. And then as we shoot, I help direct your energy. I go, yeah, can you bring your tone up a bit, because I know the next line it's gonna start somewhere else, or I need something different to connect. But I got you. I got how you look. I got how you sound. And then after we shoot the whole script, it becomes like puzzle pieces for me, right, in editing, because then I'm able to go, we go through it as the script goes, or there's a segment at the end that actually sounds so much better after you delivered it as the beginning of the video. And that gives, when we shoot it this way, it becomes just puzzle pieces that I put together to create the best puzzle and the best picture. But that's how I deliver it back to you is after all, we shoot those little pieces, I put it together, and we have something that's that you can either post on LinkedIn, send an email, or put it on your website.
So a lot of the magic is in the edit, by the sounds of it. So it's not just how you're capturing the recording and the message, but it's what you do after with it.
Oh, listen, I think the thing I learned the most about doing this is that the recording is about 20% of the work, right?
Okay.
You got 40%, I would say, is the writing and the intention, and then another 40% is the editing. Editing is the new writing. It's when a good editor can take something that's absolutely rubbish and make it gold. A bad editor can take something that's really good and turn it terrible. So I think that's what I've learned about editing, is that there's so much value in there that I think it's underappreciated. But it's the final person that delivers the final how you deliver your content, your story, and so it's incredibly important to find the right one to be able to do that for you.
Yeah, and how are you doing this with one of those big video cameras or an iPhone? What? I know we're getting into the weeds, but I think it's useful to know if somebody's looking to hire somebody or do this themselves. I think like even some of those things can be helpful to know what to expect or what direction to take it.
Absolutely. I think that, so my ethos in video creation is, again, it's to be able to take as much pressure off of the client as possible. One of those pressures is like, my theory is the bigger the camera, the more scared we're going to be in front of it. It's unnatural, this massive thing that's going to be like shoved in front of your face. And so I record with this. It's just an iPhone 16 Pro. When I first started, it was an iPhone 12. And my fear was like, my fear was like, hey, is this going to work? Is this good enough? And what I've realized is that it's not the gear, it's the story. It's it's the intent that you get out of it. So when I shoot with this, my clients feel at ease because I've seen this before. I use the same thing with my kids, right? I totally know what this is. It doesn't look scary. And again, if The Weeknd, the musician, can do a music video with an iPhone, we can do this with an iPhone. And
an iPhone. So I mean,
exactly. The other piece of gear I have is a light box like this, right? Just to light up anything if it's dark. A tripod that cost me about 10 quid, and a mic just like this that picks up the audio, and just like any distractions in the back, any distracting noise in the back, it kind of brings it down a bit. But other than that, that's my basic kit. It's nothing fancy. It's so cheap on Amazon now. That I value being nimble over something massive and super high quality that I don't think we need with these videos. So do
you normally record in people's offices or in their homes, or like what kind of places are good to make these videos?
I like shooting in their natural habitat. So I've got clients in, let's say, construction tech, and I want to be able to show that they're in their element and in the environment. That'd be cool, right? But at the same time, a lot of us work either from home or in offices. And ultimately, I would love to come and shoot at your place. But if your place if you want to feel a little different, you can come over to Second Home, where I'm recording this and B co-working. There's lots of spaces that we can shoot from, and all I'm really looking for is a place where there's a lot of natural sunlight, and for you to feel safe, to be able to be yourself. That's what I'm looking for. And yeah, I've shot in parks, I've shot in people's houses, and I've shot in construction sites. So, anywhere that lets you feel your best about yourself and about your business, that's where we're going to be.
And do you notice any differences? I don't usually like to play the age card or demographic card, but do you notice that? My observation is that younger people coming through are so used to using smartphones. When you held it up there, and my daughter's got an iPhone, and she's quite comfortable using it and uses it in a way that I think people of my generation are really still struggling to use Zoom and feeling very, very self-conscious. Do you see any of those difference when it comes to meeting founders, or is it just everyone's different and you just take what comes?
I think that there's the younger generation, so to speak, have a leg up in terms of feeling native with video.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean that they're comfortable, right, in front of the
Right.
camera.
Okay.
I think there's a massive difference between consuming the content and understanding the language of how to storytell, but then to be able to do it is completely different.
Yeah.
That's like saying, hey, I listen to a lot of music, but that doesn't make you a great musician.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a misnomer that young people are all just masters of video creation because they lived it all their lives. I grew up, I'm yeah, I grew up before the internet, and when the internet came in, I adapted.
The olden days,
When
my kids call that.
Yeah, the good old days.
What was it like in the
Uh,
olden days, Dad?
well, we had phones where we had to dial. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, then we had to put the set in here and do this. But we had to adapt to huge communication shifts. We went from phones to faxes to emails to social media, Slack, all these things we have to adapt. This is just another thing. This is just another thing that we're adapting to. Being able to grow up before the internet gives us that edge. And I think that if you look at some of the content creators out there on TikTok, even they're not who you think TikTok creators are supposed to be. You've got a lot of people who are older that are becoming great storytellers in their own right. And yeah, don't let age be a deterrent factor whatsoever. They struggle. Young people struggle the same as us older folk. I think that again, it's the storytelling element that's an important thing, right?
Yeah.
Sure, you're more comfortable in front of the camera, but can you land your intention in 30 seconds, in 60 seconds, in 90 seconds? Can you earn the attention of somebody who's watching a video and not scroll past you because you're being relatable? I think there's if we look at people that I look up to in terms of content, it's not the flashy people. It's not the ones with like the crazy edits and all this stuff. It's the Zora Mamdanis who are very clear of their messaging in front of the camera. It's the Bella edits who are very they don't use a lot of crazy edits, but it's about the storytelling and it's just the smoothness of that kind of storytelling through video. That's who I'm looking for, because I think at the core of it, that's what we're looking for. If TikTok dies, if LinkedIn dies, we're still looking for the same thing: a person to deliver a good story. That's the skill set that that's taken me from Facebook to to Twitter to Vine, if you remember Vine, to TikTok,
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
now to LinkedIn. It all ladders up to the same thing.
Good. Well, before we go into the quickfire questions, which I always like to do you have any tips for anybody if they're looking to make one of these themselves or do more of their own video content? So obviously you're going to want people to work with you, but other people also be maybe making a start trying to do some video content themselves. So aside from some of the tips you've already given, what else would you add?
First things first, these things are so powerful now. They're basically a studio in your pocket. Break it out, get comfortable. Every now and then start recording yourself to talk about something you really care about. Don't talk about work. I think when we start talking about work, we first put on this voice that where does this come from? It doesn't sound like me. Why does it sound so stiff? Talk about rugby, talk about food, talk about music, talk about something you really love, crocheting, I don't know, whatever it is that you love. Start talking about that and see uh, your body language and see your tone and see how you make eye contact with the camera. Um, that's your goal. That's your goal, is to be able to take that level of comfort and that level of being yourself and now talk about work in that tone. So that's the first thing, is to get comfortable. Just start recording yourself and start observing some of these things about your body language and about how you deliver. And that's your role model. That's what you want to end up with. The second thing I would say is to do what we just we said earlier, is to don't pressure yourself to do everything in one take. Break down your script into different smaller chunks. Editing is magic. Editing is your best friend. Like Hollywood actors who win, awards, they don't do everything in a single take. If they don't do that, don't give yourself that pressure. It's not fair. We're not actors. We're people trying to do something with our business that happens to need to communicate. And so if Hollywood actors don't get that luxury of needing to do it in a single take, you don't need to pressure yourself either. So break into smaller chunks, do several takes so that you can see in different energies, so that you can see how you can connect the energies between lines, and trust in the editing. And I think that's going to help build your confidence so much more, just to be able to see that you can start doing steps to get to that level of where you think your communication should be, that ladders up to your business and your startup. I think that's going to be incredibly helpful.
Good. No, great tips. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, when I do my own video content, I try and do it in one. Maybe I should start trying to break it up. But one of the things I found is that trying to memorize the script and then deliver it was a real problem, because your brain is working on memory, not talking to the lens, and it's taken me quite a long time to overcome that thing. But probably breaking it down would advance things a little bit more. Good.
Yeah,
right.
Be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Let's do some quick fire questions. So if you got the opportunity to interview anybody for one of your founder videos, who would it be?
Oh, that's such a tough one. Goodness, I would love to interview Tony Khan. He's created All Elite Wrestling. I love professional wrestling. I am so sorry,
okay.
But I am an apologetic geek. But he created All Elite Wrestling. He's also the co-owner of Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL. And I would love to hear the story of how he went from a fan to creating something that is incredibly hard to compete against a behemoth like WWE, and to get the insights off of that. I think that'd be incredibly cool to be able to help him tell that story. That'd be a really cool thing to do.
I didn't know you were into wrestling, so there you go. Always learning stuff. So what piece, I often put this question in, what piece of marketing or business lingo would you like to banish?
First thing is synergy. Can we not say synergy? If any lingo is able to become an apprentice team name, I think that needs to go. So I think that as humans, we're much more creative than using jargon and buzzwords like that. That's been a buzzword for far too long. I think that's got to go. I would love to see.
They'll do something with their hands like this as well.
Yes, it's like just in case you don't know what a synergy is. And also, when I think synergy, I think like Transformers. It's like, if there's synergy, is there a source called Synergon? Like, is that what we're fighting for?
I could talk to you about Transformers, but we won't do that. So if you weren't working in video, what would you like to be doing instead?
My dream as a kid was to be a comic book artist and a comic book storyteller. My problem is that I can't draw women, so there goes 50% of the of the characters. Yeah. And that's I loved comic books. That was my escape as a kid, and I think that's helped me love storytelling. Yeah. And in ways, if you look at comic books and comic strips, they're very similar. It's comic books are long form content. Comic strips, you got to land a story in 4 panels. How do you do that? How do you land a punchline? How do you make someone laugh every single day in newspapers? Remember newspapers? In just 4 panels. That is such a skill. And I think that that's where I started, really falling in love with storytelling. It's comic book. So if I could one day, oh my gosh, I loved the Marvel stuff. I was more of a Marvel guy than a DC person.
Yeah.
But later on, I also started loving. I think it was Persepolis. That was a French-Iranian woman that basically was an autobiography through through a graphic novel, and it was her upbringing in Rennes, and then her struggles adapting into France, and they made a movie out of it. But the graphic novel was phenomenal. So I love that, and I love like stuff like The Watchmen. I think The Watchmen is an incredible series that is relevant now. Same as V for Vendetta. It's like that's relevant now. I don't want it to be relevant now, but it really is. So those are stories that I think that have not just transcended through time, but also transcended. It's evergreen because those concepts will forever be relevant.
Yeah, good answers. I love those things too. And let's have another one. Oh, final one on the quickfire. You mentioned when we were just having our pre-chat that you've got lots of different names or nicknames. What's the weirdest nickname anybody's ever given you?
The weirdest nickname I've ever given was Wally. It was weird.
Wally?
I was like it was in a summer camp. So Wally I know Wally in the UK has a negative connotation, but in Canada, I was maybe 14, 15. I was in some kind of leadership summer camp. And one of the camp counselors was just looked at me and goes, "You look like a Wally. We're calling you Wally for the rest of the summer." We're like, okay. So I just ran with that. But other weird nicknames I've had, the normal ones I've had was Ant and Ants. The weirder ones I had was Van Damme. Don't ask. But that's what happens with friends sometimes. You just hang out with them, one thing leads to another, you end up with a different name. So
you can never choose your own nickname. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the rule, because the nickname that you have in your head is not the one that other people want to call you. So you've just other people give you the nicknames. That's the thing with
nicknames. Them. Nicknames are earned. You cannot give them to yourself. So
yeah, the weirdest one I had, which stuck for a while, was Jam Jar. Because when I had a part-time job working for Sainsbury's in a supermarket, the manager couldn't be bothered to work out how to say my names. He was, "Who's that? Give some more hours to that Jam Jar bloke down there." So sounds nothing like Szomszor, but there we go. Good. Well, let's leave it there on the quickfire questions and interview, because I think we're nearly out of time. But thanks so much for coming on and being generous with all your knowledge about video. But I have one more question for you, which is, what is your motto in life?
My motto in life is, I think it's more the ethos and the value I want to give in part. When I do content, I want some kind of joy. I want some kind of laughter. That to me is incredibly important. I think especially now, there's so much content out there that's like, here's 5 values of this and whatever. I think joy and laughter and smiles and relatability is so underrated and so needed. That's how I connect with people, whether it's on content or in real life. It's so rare that I don't have a share a laugh with them. I just find it so powerful to connect on a laughter. And so that to me is the most important thing. Whether it's a smirk or something uplifting, that's all I want. And that's why I aspire, I guess, to help my clients to do as well, is put that value in to their content, because that's going to help it be more relatable. That's going to help them show their values and connect with people more. So that's my motto. It's not really a motto. It's a terrible motto, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I love that. And all the stuff going on today, which we don't need to go into, I think it's never been, like, if you can't laugh at some of it or laugh along with people of this stuff, it's just becomes quite depressing. But
yeah,
thank you so much again for coming on, Ant. So how do people find out about you if they want to hire you or find out more about your stuff?
I mean, you'll be shocked that you can find me on LinkedIn. Look for me, Right Hook, Right being WRITE, or look for Anthony Leung, LEUNG. Although if you Google Anthony Leung, there are several far smarter Anthony Leungs out there in the world.
Okay.
So I'm like further down on the list. But you can find me there, or you can look for me, Right Hook, on Google and put you on my website. But would love to connect with you guys. Anybody who let's have a chat. Let's hear about what your journey is. And let's see if we can get some traction for your startup through some video content.
Brilliant stuff. All that remains to say is Let's play the music. Bit of a bang there. It's a good job we're finishing. I'm going to stop recording now. Play the music.
Go for it.